Welcome into this Tuesday, rainy night in Montreal. It is Tuesday night basketball, the penultimate game between the Vancouver Bandits and the Montreal Lions. 14-8 against the 9-13 Lions here from Verdun Auditorium. The final home game, perhaps, for the Lions. We welcome you to the broadcast booth. Mike Shemlewski, Mo Khan, alongside Covino Doro. Coach, good evening to you. Welcome back. All right, Montreal, tough loss to Scarborough on the weekend. And now here they are against Vancouver, who have a lot to play for. They're on a 2-game winning streak. And they are playing for first place. And for Montreal, they're trying to play to get into the playoffs here. Something's got to get today between these two teams, Coach.
Yeah, so a lot up for grabs. Montreal, you win, you stay alive. Vancouver, you win, you're one step closer to clinching first place on their side of the standings.
And you look at these two teams here with the matchup stats coming up with Montreal and Vancouver. Different angles. You talk about one of the highest scoring teams in Vancouver, just at 98 points a game. Montreal, one of the lower scoring teams at 87 points a game. And the numbers after that, though, are almost one-way traffic for the Bandits here. Coach, if it ends up being a high-scoring game, does this benefit Vancouver? Or if it's a low-scoring game, will it benefit Montreal?
Yes, so you got it right on the money. It's, again, styles make fights. It's a clash of styles again. Whoever gets to impose their style of play will likely see their side win.
Last matchup there, Montreal raced out to a 22-point lead, had a 10-point lead in Target. However, they lost that game to the Bandits there. And, Coach, you can talk about this factor here, that sometimes that can be a demoralizing loss for any franchise. But Montreal got back with the Ottawa win last week. They get them again here. Can they build up that type of credit against a very good Bandit team that can score points at any point of this matchup?
Well, Montreal has shown time and time again that they get to a good spot during the games. I'm a glass half full type of guy. You could look at it, it's another tight one that didn't go their way, but the truth is they are getting to good spots during the game where they build leads, they get the target score with some advantages. I'd look at what got them there and just go all in on that versus trying to pick apart what went wrong. Easier said than done.
Does it weigh on Montreal that they're 0-7 in games decided by 4 points or less? They're close, but they can't finish off those type of matchups.
Human nature, pros or not pros, yes, it'll be in back of their mind. But all they need is one. If they win one tight one, maybe the lid is off.
Well, one win required for Vancouver perhaps to be the first seed. Montreal needs one more win to keep their hopes alive. Stay tuned here. You're watching CEBL Live on CBC Gem, YouTube, listen to TSN 690, and also on the platforms that we have here in Montreal and Verdun, Quebec. Stay tuned. Tip-off coming up between Montreal and Vancouver. Who will win? Will it be Vancouver or Montreal? Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Verdun Auditorium. Cobino Doro, Mike Shamlewski, Mo Khan on this rainy Tuesday night. Big one today, and here are the Vancouver Bandits and the Montreal Lions. Starting off with the keys to the game presented by CDIC, coach with the Vancouver Bandits.
So they're going up against a physical team in Montreal. They got to win the rebounding battle. Play with some offensive balance. They can get carried away with shooting the three and attacking the paint. You want to put pressure on Montreal's interior defense.
All right, taking a look at the Montreal Lions keys to the game presented by CDIC. And here are the 3 key points to look at, Coach.
Stick with it. They've been doing a lot of good things for 95% of the games recently. Hit first, bring the physicality. It seems to be an identity of theirs that's formed recently. And have poise on offense. Sometimes it won't go your way. Just keep with it.
Let's go to Jam Master J, Cubino Doro, with the Southern Report with head coach Jermaine Small.
Coach, it's all about making playoffs, but I'm going to ask you the question anyways. How important is this game?
Like I told him, there's no tomorrow. I mean, we can't be one of those teams that, like hoping other teams lose and stuff. Taking control of your own fate, and it's our last home game, so we got to win.
What is the game plan going into this game?
I mean, first and foremost, play harder than them. And then, cut down the turnovers, rebound the ball, and remember what happened there the last time. So it's payback time.
Coach, I got a quick fun one. I got my jersey on. If you need a 3-point shot, holla at me.
I got you all day, every day.
Thank you very much. Good luck, Coach.
All right, brother.
He's not hollering at Cubino Doro to shoot the 3-point ball. Let's take a look at the starting 5 here, Coach. Joyner, Samuel, Eddie, Brown, and Lloyd Padney, who could be an X-factor. And for the Alliance, an all-Canadian, except for Lou Williams III, who's the American in this lineup here with Johnson, Chiquinho, Odro, and Guerrier. It will be quite fascinating to see how this plays out. Tyrese Samuel, the local product, living nearby LaSalle, Quebec, 10 minutes away from Verdun. So quite the 10 that we'll have out there for both teams today. And here are the players to watch, Coach, starting off with the local product, Tyrese Samuel.
Tyrese Samuel's big forward, double threat. He's another local legend. And I'm looking for him to have an impact all over the floor, inside and out.
Well, he's been Mr. Impact for this team this year, scoring 17 points a game and about 8 rebounds per matchup as well this year for the Vancouver Bandits, who are locked and loaded. No Mitch Creek, who's not with the team yet, should be back by the weekend with the game in Winnipeg at home on Sunday as well. And finally, let's take a look at the Montreal Lions and their key player to watch today, the you've ID'd coach, which is none other than all reliable number 6.
Yes, sir. Quincy Guerrier. He's been back for a few games. He was huffing and puffing his first game back. Looked great the last game. This is his third game back. He plays a similar position as Tyrese. Funny note, I believe this is their first matchup ever, college or pro. They've never played against each other.
Well, the passing ships will now collide in Verdun for this matchup between Vancouver and Quincy Guerrier's Montreal Lions. Guerrier had a great game, but of course had a tough end. He missed that floater that could have been the decider against the Scarborough Shooting Stars on the weekend down in Toronto. There was none to be as well. So we get ready for tip-off between the Montreal Lions and the Vancouver Bandits. And there you have is Ransford Brimpong, who replaced Kyle Julius early in the month of July. And that is something I'll talk to you about, that coaching switch. How does that impact teams going towards the finish line, which we'll see as well on this Tuesday night. Vancouver will be in their burnt orange uniforms with navy blue number trim, and Montreal in their navy blue uniforms with sky blue numeral and white number trim as well. The penultimate game for Montreal and Vancouver, different agendas though. Vancouver is in, and for Montreal, time is running out. Could the Alliance make like Bandits and pull off the smasher grab to keep their playoff hopes alive? We'll find out here today between the Alliance and Bandits on this Tuesday night. How key are the first few minutes of this matchup between Vancouver, who is coming cross-country, and Montreal, who's coming off the short turnaround from Sunday?
The beginning and end to each quarter, they're always chemo. You wanna set the tone early. It always gives you a little bit of an advantage. Obviously, it's a long game. Things can change.
Tip-off presented by Spalding, the official game ball of the CEBL. Crew chief MP Malo, umpires Yannick Payette and Alexandre Lapointe. And it's Vancouver going right to left, Montreal left-right for this first drive. And the first hit confirmed by Jarrell Eddy, scoring 13 a game this year from Vautech.
Real simple two-man action, down screen followed by a ball screen. Great work by Vancouver.
Eddy had 18 points in the win over Montreal in the come-from-behind victory on one-and-done for the Alliance. Here's Eddy part 2. And the rebound for the Alliance on the one-and-done for the Bandits with 9:24 left in this first quarter of play. Lou Williams III came in as a nobody, but now he's a somebody for this Alliance team, one of the top defenders in the league. Here's Gurry in the low block. The pirouette. We're back to 2-2 to now 3-2.
Good little high-low set from Montreal to establish Quincy early. Nice pass from Audreau.
Again, we said 32-12 against Scarborough, but we'll see where the mindset is for this Alliance team. Early days of this first quarter period of play. Joyner around the protractor it goes. Eddy again. He's had the monopoly. Here's Samuel, and the hometown kid getting his first bucket of the day.
So what I'm seeing early is Tyrese Samuels is operating a little more in the high post area, just looking for quick screens on the ball off reversals. It's when timed, it is very difficult to guard.
Yeah, 24-8 against the Lions. Backdoor, Williams III denied. Repelled away by the Bandits, and a giveaway. Johnson, the forensic finish, and it's a 5-4 lead for the Bandits.
Again, another high-low look from Montreal to establish inside position.
Another missed three for the Bandits, and Audreau and Samuel. A little wrestling going on. SummerSlam this weekend, and that time the Dreadnought and Audreau winning that battle with Samuel, who gets a foul called against them.
Again, like we said last game, fouls are key. Fouls are super important. You want to avoid early fouls on your key players. And if you're the opponent, you want to put fouls on your opponent's key players.
Chiqueño. Back out to Johnson. On the byline he goes. Gurry in traffic, well repelled by Samuel, and here come the Bandits on a 4-on-2, making it on a 5-on-4 now. Samuel again as the high post work out for him. We'll see now. The dance jab move coming through is Brown. Joyner. Pandy. Open for Joyner. Drive by one. Chiqueño strong, confident, and finished smoothly, and they're up by a score of 7-4.
That is a good stampede take by their point guard.
Stampede take, I like that term.
Yeah, so that's the action of catching and going. Don't hold it. Be decisive on the catch.
Chiqueno, decisive from the pass. Odro, confident on the finish.
See, Montreal early on is just looking to attack the paint relentlessly. All of their first possessions, they've been trying to get paint touches.
This Eastern Conference game presented by Lotto Max. Samuel will go to the free throw line for a couple of Lotto shots. And he has really made his presence felt. Tyrese Samuel grew up in nearby LaSalle, Quebec, which is a 10-minute drive from here to the auditorium. Hometown kid, coach, and here he is with the hometown move.
Right, so he's playing the 5 spot to start this game, but he can face up. He's mobile. He's agile. He's a tough cover out there from 18 feet in.
And for Samuel, missing that free throw, 70% from the free throw line. And this young man has a 17-game streak of 10 points or more. And we'll see what happens now. He got that snap. He's going to score 12 in the last 2 games combined. And he gets us up to an 8-6 lead as well. Eastern Conference game presented by Lotto Max. And right now, the lottery ticket is on this table here from Montreal and Vancouver. Could Vancouver be the #1 seed in the West? And could Montreal punch their ticket to the playoffs? Another giveaway.
That's Montreal's 3rd live ball turnover already.
And Vancouver cannot punch them on the missed 3 from Brown. And that's now 0 of 3 from long range for the Bandits in the early days of this first quarter play. Chiqueno, slow start for him so far. Had 9 and 8 against the shooting stars. And Guerrier is starting to fizz in this first quarter play here, Coach.
So, because Vancouver has opted to match Tyrese Samuels with Montreal's Audro, Quincy is constantly matched up by a smaller defender. So Montreal's making a conscious effort of feeding him down there.
And in your mind, does that open up the avenues, the passing lanes, to get others involved from the exterior?
What we like to say, it's going to loosen up the defense. First of all, this is already the 2nd or 3rd foul. It's early in the game, and I believe fouls are a premium. Right, it wears a team down, it shortens their rotation, or it may go into a deeper rotation than a coach may like to.
And does that apply to Samuel with the Bandits? And now he's sort of been the facilitator, the maestro on the offense, opening things up for the likes of Joyner and others on this offensive attack.
Absolutely, Mo. He's already got 1 foul. He's going to have to play 35 minutes a game today. Fouls.
Brown's 3, cash, and back up by 3 are the Bandits with 6:15 left in this first quarter play.
A little different set over there by Vancouver. Changed up the formation. Ended up with a get on the side of the court. Changed the geometry of the defense there.
And that geometry will change on that turnover by the Alliance as Guillaume Boucard will come in. And you talk about a Bandit team that's shooting about 37% from long range, #2 in the league. And you saw the century collision applied, unfortunately for Quincy Guerrier, cost him a foul.
Yeah, he didn't stop in time. He didn't give the defender time enough to stop there.
And Eddie will not be stopped on that. Timeout called by the Alliance. Back-to-back threes, and they're up by 6, 14-8. You're watching CBL live on CBC Gem, YouTube, listening to TSN 690, and on CBL Plus. Right now, it's all Vancouver, bombing away from long range from the West Coast. Stay tuned.
So, Mo, you know we like to highlight our Montrealers. Usually we're talking about someone who plays well against Montreal, but we have a different story today. One of the assistant coaches, Matthew Bark, standing up right there with the clipboard, he is the assistant coach and the assistant GM of the Vancouver Bandits. Now, he has coached at Selwyn House. That's where he got his start, and he played at McGill. And he says that, like, when he plays against Montreal, he circles that game, and he wants to win because he's played with some of these guys who are on the Alliance team, and he wants to have those bragging rights. And then I want to give a quick shout out to one of the strength and conditioning coaches, Jude, who's also from Montreal. And Bart told me that this is a Montreal takeover in Vancouver, along with Tyrese Samuels. Mo?
Thank you, Quabina. And here is Lou Williams III. Guillaume Boucard back with us. 5:30 left in this first quarter play. Keyshawn Bartholomew in the game for the first time. And that is a whistle, and that will not count. And we go back the other way. Matthew Barg played at John Abbott, played at McGill. And his father, who I see all the time, I've not seen him yet, but the Bark family really immersed in the basketball community of Montreal. So disjointed possession for the Alliance of late here, Coach. What has changed for them coming out of that timeout?
A little more secure possessions. That's a dead ball turnover. It's not as bad, but you know you want to start being aggressive again on offense and sure in your ways.
We'll see now from our Gibbons. Here's Brown, corner pocket three, and that will go back to Zimmerman, and Hemphill will get that back for the Alliance. And here's Bartholomew the other way.
Vancouver running a ton of off-ball screens. They're trying to free up three-point shooters, constantly putting Montreal in closeout situations.
Hemphill back open from the center arc, and that will find its way towards Horton. Boucard on the end line. We'll circle it back. Here's the corner pocket three. Splash. Montreal back in, down by 3.
So nice second effort by Montreal. Offensive rebounds leads to open threes a lot of the times.
Montreal chasing and hunting. Here's Zimmerman, the former NBAer. Part 2, better than part 1, and they're back up by 5.
He's a load down there. Got to clean up the first shot.
Signed with the team last week, played 3 minutes on the weekend. Trying to get himself immersed into the CEBL rules and lifestyle as well. Here's Hemphill. Not long. And Montreal hit back-to-back threes. They're down by 2.
So, I mean, that is a product of them trying to consistently attack the paint. So it has loosened up the defense on the outside. They're wide open on these shots.
Gibbons again. The teardrop. Zimmerman part 2, and he has been a monster so far with magnets in his hands with the rebounds.
He's got a size mismatch down there, that's for sure.
Bartholomew, Boucard on the go, stopped for the moment, and that would be too much spice for the moment. Hemphill, part 2 for the 3. That time lacking the quality.
Still a pretty good look.
And that's a better look coming in for Brown on the alley. And Vancouver transitioning well enough on both ends of the court.
Indeed, you want to take away wide open layups in transition. That can't happen.
Number 1 team in field goal shooting at 47% per game. Bartholomew is in for his first 2, and they're down by 4.
Nice little step-up screen between Keyshawn Bartholomew and Hemphill. Turned the corner, laid it in with his inside hand.
Eddie opened up the game with the first 3, gets his next 2, and they're back up by 6.
There's Vancouver running their pattern. You can already see they're using their big man as facilitators. Screening off ball, flare screens, down screens, quick drag screens in transition.
It's been a simple handoff from Kyle Julius to this new staff and a new voice to look with as well, as now both teams make hockey-style changes. Mulder, Samuel, Knight III, Jordan coming back in. Johnson will come back in along with Chiquenio. This game brought to you by Red Tag. Scan the QR code for your chance to win the ultimate CEBL Finals trip, courtesy of redtag.ca. You could score round-trip flights, a 2-night hotel stay, and a courtside seats to the CEBL Finals. Visit CEBL.ca/redtag for more details in this game. So, tail of the tape, Coach, would you say it's Vancouver advantage right now?
The momentum is in Vancouver's favor right now, that's for sure. They're playing more freely. They're playing more aggressively. They're playing the game on their terms.
And right now, those terms will be favoring the Bandits on that miscue by Chiquenio. And if this Montreal team were to go far in this game, would it be on Blondo? Chiquenio would be the X factor in this matchup?
For sure, Blondeau's always an X factor in any game he plays. Right now, I'm also seeing Vancouver has opted to switch a lot of Montreal's on-ball actions, and Montreal's offense has been a bit stagnant as a result the last few possessions.
And that action results in a foul against the Bandits. This goes back to the Alliance as Lou Williams III will come back in, 22-16. And that will be the second foul on Tyrese Samuel. Now, if you are Vancouver, do you take him out to avoid a third foul late in this first quarter?
Absolutely. There's 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Lots of game left. Now, it will stress the rotation. So, Montreal switched on the screen here. Tyrese Samuels felt he had a mismatch. He just used his arms to seal a little too much.
I think he was trespassing on the real estate of where he committed the foul. And right now the Lions are down by 6. Turquenio on the switch with Zimmerman. Here is Hemphill. And he bamboozled his way through and gained a 2 over Gibbons, who did not realize Hemphill got the ball.
And so Montreal is going to their Spain pick and roll, or like some clubs like to call it the stack pick and roll. So it puts 2 players in the middle of the floor with the ball handler. Vancouver is switching all of those actions, and Montreal finally got a decent look with catching Jack Hemphill with the switch there.
And I.T. Horton was caught in 2 minds on that travel, and that will go back over to the Bandits right now. The full roar of Verdun is on site, near packed house for this game on a Tuesday night. And right now the Vancouver Bandits trying to dampen the mood. Mulder back with it. Vancouver lifetime against the Alliance. They are 5-3. From the corner pocket, Montreal's last win here against Vancouver was exactly 2 years ago in 2024 when they beat the Bandits on that crazy Tajay Moore dunk that he had against the Alliance. Hemphill off the window using his geometry to get it down to 2.
That is not an easy finish over the bigger defender. Moving screen here by Vancouver.
And Hemphill had 20 and 10 against Scarborough in 18 minutes. Another turnover, another foul by the Bandits. That's 14 fouls late in this first quarter, 2 against Montreal. So 1 away from the bonus late in the first quarter stages.
So we're seeing the styles clash, right? So Vancouver's running a lot of actions with their bigs, freeing up cutters. Montreal is trying to put Vancouver's bigs in as many actions as possible. So if you're going to switch, Jack Hemphill is going to have a size mismatch inside, and Zimmerman's going to be caught on Blondeau on the outside.
And a foul call now, and Hemphill will go to the free throw line. And if you remember what happened with Jack Hemphill against this Vancouver Bandit team, he had them on the sword to kill him off, but missed that free throw on the ensuing possession. Vancouver killed off the Alliance on the final shot. So Hemphill at the line, shooting this year 50%. Cal Tire, proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com right now for Hemphill. His tires are a little bit flat for the free throw line. And he's 0-2 from the strike.
Unfortunate misses, but you know, those fouls on Vancouver are valuable for Montreal.
And a 5-point swing on a valuable shot by Zimmerman Jr., and they're back up by 5.
So Zimmerman being used as a hub. That time he opted to pick and top. He was wide open for a 3 at the top of the key.
This is a Bandit team that makes about 11 threes per game. Johnson. Here is Williams III. Thought about it with 8 left in the shot clock. The jumper. Smooth. And he gets his first 2 points on the inventive play by Lou Williams III.
Good offensive poise on that pull-up step back.
Last action of the first quarter play. 3-point lead for the Bandits over the lines. Eyeball to eyeball, and here comes Joyner and the Bandits. Open 3 again. And at the end of 1, it's Vancouver 25, Montreal 22. Round 1 to the West Coast boys. Round 2 coming up here for Verdun. You're watching CEBL live on CBC Jeff, YouTube, listen to TSN 690 and CEBL Plus. It's raining outside. It's raining threes inside. Stay tuned for the second quarter from Montreal. Jack Hemphill, who has had a great first quarter play from Montreal, 3 of 4 from the field for 7 points, Coach. He's the reason why Montreal's still in this game down by 3.
Yeah, so Montreal did stop turning it over, right? Like that was a big thing, and then staying within striking distance. A statistic that jumps off the page for me is Vancouver has taken 7 more shots than they have. So once they stopped turning it over and started, getting more possessions ending with a shot, they were right back in it.
Vancouver so far 10 of 20, 50% from the field. Montreal 9 of 13 for 69%, which 9 times out of 10 would give you the lead. But this one time, it's Vancouver in the pole position right now. Vancouver has pretty much led the entire game in that first quarter, 9 minutes and 33 seconds. So Montreal has yet to get a lead in this game going to quarter number 2. Covino Dora, Mike Shomolewski, Mo Khan on this Tuesday night. Here's Gurry, who opened up like a firebrand for the Alliance. He will chip his way through, and he's fouled on the play by Lloyd Pandy, who, speaking out to the West Coast boys of ours, Chris Wiggins and the boys, and here is the foul call right here. They call him the Clown because he's one of the top defenders on this Bandit team.
He may be one of the top defenders, but he's giving up a few inches to Quincy Guerrier. Vancouver has started with a significantly smaller lineup here to start the second quarter. The reason for that, Tyre Samuels picked up 2 quick fouls. Zimmerman has already played a bunch. We're already seeing the effects of the foul trouble eating into the rotation.
And for Quincy Guerrier, who's only a 40% free throw shooter, gets his first free throw confirmed in this game. He's 3 of 3, Coach. Not to jinx him yet, but free throws have been the bane for Montreal this year. Shooting at only making 14 a game this year from the line are the Alliance. Gibbons again. Watched by Barthélemy, backing up, looking for the outlet. Brown's 3. And another rebound for the Bandits, who hit about 37 rebounds per game. These are two of the top 4 rebounding teams in the CEBL. Jordan on the dance against Johnson. Backdoor move, and airborne is Guerrier, as Lloyd Pandy got nailed, and Guerrier will stay on the court as he tells the bench, I'm good, moving forward ahead.
I believe he just picked up this second foul, and he would rather stay on the floor, but I think Coach Smalls is coming in with the quick sub.
Safety first, I guess.
Yes, sir. Vancouver is running a ton of quick little actions on the ball with this smaller lineup, trying to catch a Montreal defender with his hips open, create a lane, or create a quick closeout for a catch-and-shoot 3. Again, we're seeing a clash of styles again. Montreal's trying to establish inside offense, and Vancouver's trying to just open up the floor with their guards and wings.
Pandy hits 1 of 2. New Era is the exclusive game uniform partner of the CEBL and all 10 of his teams from coast to coast. Pick up your official replica jerseys now by visiting CEBL.ca. Right now, one of these teams trying to create a new era going towards the business end of the season. The playoffs, August, just around the corner. And that's where we'll find out who will be the champion of the CEBL this year. Backdoor, Boucard, left to right, in for 2. Montreal down by 1.
Again, they're going to attack the inside defense of Vancouver when they have this lineup on the floor.
Pandy attacks. 1 and done. Boucard on the go, and Montreal had 22 dimes against the Scarborough Shooting Stars. Williams III, the reload. Barthélemy slashing. Barthélemy off the window, using the geometry. Timeout called by Vancouver. 8:37 left. And Montreal, their first lead of the day, 27-26. And they want to talk about the Bandits and get things calmed down, relaxed going towards this next break over here. You're watching CEBL Live on CBC Gem, YouTube, CEBL Plus, listening to TSN 690. Bandits up 27-26, the Alliance that is.
The CD
So Prince Odro had a great game against Vancouver, 13-8 in the loss last week. But here is Prince Odro tonight, Coach, with the influence of the ball in his hands at both ends of the court.
Right, so Vancouver right now opting with a smaller lineup, and Montreal's hunting for the size mismatches. That created a double team, freed up a teammate on the baseline. Even though they're trying to attack the interior consistently, on that last possession they had a fast break opportunity. You got numbers, you still want to push. Even though that's Vancouver's game, you want to selectively push and get some easy ones.
Montreal shooting 68% so far, Vancouver 45%. Good news for the Alliance, they've led the game for all of 2 seconds.
The two that matter, the most recent ones.
Vancouver, 7 bench points. Montreal, 13 bench points. So we'll see now who from the supporting cast can come up big here in this second quarter. Play 8:25 left in this first half.
Vancouver going back to their double screen, what we call a stagger screen for a cutter or a shooter.
And that shot staggered.
Into a two-man game in the middle of the floor. Well defended by Montreal.
Johnson on the go. He's on his bike. Trailing through Barthélemy. And a rebound right back to the Bandits in the way they come up ahead. And the open, free-flowing style benefits the Bandits. Pandy. Brown from the flats. And another missed three. Odro on the cleanup with 7:53 left in his first half of play.
So, Mo, one of Vancouver's keys, in my opinion, was to attack paint. You can't, and offensive balance, right? They can get carried away with the three. And sometimes if it's not falling, you gotta come up with a counter, attack inside a little more.
Odro can't hit that. And here's Vancouver. This is part of their DNA. They want to run and gun. Give us three. And now they're 0-3 in the last few minutes of play. Barthélemy. Boucard. And right now, the style favoring Montreal in the low-scoring second quarter of play. Odro on the interplay. And that time will clank away, and Montreal cannot extend its lead of one beyond that number. Pandy will go himself. Part two, and a whistle and a foul. And this will be free throws coming up here for the Bandits. 7:02 left in this first half of action.
So a bit of a transition take there, semi-transition for Vancouver. No one really picked up the ball handler, and it just created an opportunity in the lane.
Trent Johnson just signed with Leicester City, and he'll be playing his European ball in the United Kingdom. Leicester is a nice city. I've not been, I have family in Leicester, but it becomes a nice city to go to, so he'll enjoy his European season out there. Chiqueno back in for Lou Williams III. No subs for the Bandits, as Odro will veer exit stage left for this next moment coming up here. Hemphill back in, and now Gibbons at the line. And he is 68% from the line this year, has 8 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds in the win over the Alliance in Vancouver a fortnight ago.
Coach Smalls opting for his two-point guard lineup now with Londo Chiqueno and Kishan Barthélemy. Let's see if this speeds up their offense a bit.
The Canadian Air Force back in with Barthélemy and Chiqueno. South is 7, 1 point lead for the Bandits over the Lions. And here is Chiqueno. The traffic cop. Hemphill from the flats. Overcooked that shot. And now Vancouver has a chance to extend it beyond one. And back in the hands, it comes from Eddie back out to Zimmerman Jr. against Hemphill. Two dreadnoughts going at it with the deltoids. And he is fouled, and you said it before, Coach, he is a load, a wide load, and might be quite the load for Montreal to handle in the low blocks.
Sometimes the best thing to do on offense is just run. Find your big fella down low in transition. If no help is coming, that's going to be a tough ask for Jack Hemphill to cover alone.
And this might be a rotating cast of characters coming off the taxi rack to contain a guy like Zimmerman Jr. Remember, no Tyrese Samuel. He's on 2 fouls. You would imagine, Coach, that probably in the next few minutes he might be back in this game, which will add another headache to the Alliance defending.
There's two schools of thought there. Vancouver still has a slim lead. You keep your star player on the bench as long as you need to. You protect the foul trouble as long as you can.
I.T. Horton, he's been banged up. Here's his long-range shot, and he's spotting his way through. Did not play on Sunday, but he is a three-point specialist. Had 22 against Brampton earlier this year.
Montreal went back to their Spain pick and roll in the middle of the floor. It freed up Mr. Thornton for a catch-and-shoot three.
Zimmerman Jr. with a reload. And Vancouver, it's a shoot-on-side policy when it comes to three-point numbers this year, and that was nearly a shoot-on-side policy. Here's Horton, the mistake by Vancouver. And he'll slow down the heartbeat. Back out it comes to Barthélemy. And that lacked the quality required on that release. And Vancouver down by 2. 5:45 left in this first half. And an easy finish coming up. The quick feet, courtesy of Gibbons, and he'll get the tie back to 30-30.
Yeah, so Vancouver is you can see they're dying to get this game more open. They want to run more. The scoreline favors Montreal right now, but you just feel like Vancouver can put together a run anytime. They're getting good looks.
Well, the effervescence of the Bandits is quite sumptuous at times here with what they have. It's like going to a buffet and picking out what you want. You want a three-point shot, you want a rebound, you want points in the paint. That's what they are, a high-quality buffet that you find in Las Vegas after a night out.
It's a good analogy.
I try to come up with the analogies here and there, Coach.
Oh, nice little rub ball screen for the big man. So an inverted pick and roll, that can catch defenses off guard.
Rebound right back to Chiqueno off the miss from Mulder. 5 minutes left in this first half play. Parity at 30-30. Chiqueno, and he's fouled by Zimmerman Jr. and will go to the line coming up here for the Lions.
Londo Chiqueno is dangerous in transition. He saw he was matched up by the big fella. So that's a just quick hezzy in and out. Try to get a foul. Try to get by him for an easy 2. Results in a foul, two free throws, but more importantly, it's another foul on one of their bigs.
And for Montreal, it's not been the perfect signs for free throw shooting so far in this game. They're now 3 of 7. Lotto Max now gives you even more chances to win with the new prizes of $100,000 every draw. Get your Lotto Max ticket now. Must be 18 or over for a chance to win 100,000 stacks. And Montreal back up by 1. Tail of the tape, Coach, who's got momentum late in this first half of play.
You feel like Montreal has settled down after that somewhat shaky start at the beginning of the game. So the game is being played a bit more on their terms. However, Vancouver has the offensive ability to turn the corner anytime.
And Pandy hits it on that term, and they're back up by 2 on that three-point range shot. Chiqueno bouncing off of Gibbons. Here's Horton. Back out to Boucard, the veteran one with NRL last year. The switch of play. Williams the third from the 45, and a reload. Cash, money. Montreal back up by 1.
So Williams saw he had an advantage on the perimeter with Zimmerman closing out on him. Lots of poise offensively there. He didn't rush his shot there.
Chiqueno back with it. 4 minutes left in this first half of play. Horton transition, corner pocket, same spot. Not the same reaction, and Montreal is back on their heels.
You feel like
defense.
Coach Brempong was about to call timeout there.
And Gibbons is fouled. And so far, if there is a bright spot for the Bandits in this first half, it's Shamar Gibbons, who, with the ball in his hands, has really been magical, surgical of this Alliance defending.
Right, so Vancouver's at their most dangerous in the first few seconds of that possession. Again, it's all about getting back, stopping ball or stopping progress as quickly as you can. It wasn't that possession, so he was just going to put pressure on whoever was guarding him.
Gibbons saying the first free throw of the sequence, and so far today for Shamar Gibbons, he's on 3 points. And you talk about this Bandit team, they're awaiting for the arrival of Mitch Creek, who was playing with Australia's national team. He played 2 games back in June and was phenomenal, scoring 20-plus points. And once they get the big Aussie back, it just gives them more dynamism going towards playoffs.
More depth. Depth is key for long, sustained playoff runs. You know, it's an embarrassment of riches.
Hempel, the teardrop, and Montreal back up by 1 with 3:35 left.
You feel like Montreal has found a groove. They like that little side ball screen with either Quincy Guerrier or Jack Hempel on the ball handler. And they're forcing Vancouver to decide defensively. Are you going to switch? Are you going to hedge? Are you going to ice? And then they're attacking from there.
Backdoor Gibbons, GPS is on. That time was off, and he will go to the free throw line. As we said before, he is creating something out of nothing with his body. He's very malleable on how he's able to adapt his body to certain situations on the court.
So normally, smaller guards like Shamar, Givens, they tend to dominate the ball there, and when they don't have the ball, you don't expect them to make that cut, which he just did. And unfortunately for Montreal, they gave up a face cut, and that usually is going to end up with 2 points or a foul.
One of one so far, and now we're back to 36 apiece here. This game of chess has not provided a knockout blow yet. Plenty of poetry to be written by both these teams here. Tomahawk call by Jermaine Small. What's going to be discussed in that alliance huddle going towards the final 3:13 of this first half?
Just make sure you finish off the half strong. Re-emphasize your keys from before the game. They're playing good, they're playing their style of play, which is putting pressure on Vancouver. They're not just allowing, okay, let's throw the ball up and run up and down. They're not allowing Vancouver to play their style of game. They're forcing them to defend each possession, and they're running their actions, the one they want. They're going to go to a pet play here.
Let's go to Quibino Doro with a sideline update.
So, Mo, Quincy Guerrier, when he was injured, he was also thinking about things off the court. And yesterday, he had his first event that is kind of like his startup for his foundation. Now, Quincy says that he doesn't know what the name of his foundation is going to be, but he partnered up with Altivier 308, and they helped him when he was going through his whole career. They did math yesterday. They were on the court. He took the kids to the park to have a lunch. And this is something that Quincy says that he wants to do. He wants to give back to the community, and it's one of the next steps in his career that he is trying to focus on. Mo?
Thanks so much, Kubina. And so far, he is focused on the game. 5 points in this first half for Quincy Guerrier. The top point getter for Vancouver, Shamar Givens, with 8 in the first half. Other key numbers to look at right now: bench points 18-16 for the Lions over the Bandits. And also, you look at the rebounding, coach. It's a dead heat, 17 apiece. Could it come down to that number, or could it be something else that caught your attention that could be the difference in this matchup?
So far, Montreal has 0 turnovers this quarter. They had 6 after the first quarter. So that's playing a key role in this game being, tick for tat now.
And they had 9 against Vancouver 2 weeks ago. Hemphill for the center arc. And that's touched away back out to Vancouver, and here they come on their bikes.
Looked like Jack Hemphill hesitated a bit on that 3.
Perhaps caught in 2 lines in that sequence. Gibbons back in the teeth. It goes off balance. Mulder can't finish it. Rebound right to Hemphill, and now the Alliance can get this lead back perhaps with 2:35 left. Troquenio on his gallop, and he will finish just over the hands of Lloyd Pandy.
Again, he saw the defense was backpedaling a little too much. Ball handler is the most dangerous player in transition. Got to stop him early.
Mulder again, watched by Guerrier. Boxing match has been fantastic so far. Mulder, and another rebound for IT Horton off the miss from Mulder. Montreal could extend his lead perhaps beyond 1. And Guerrier will do so. Timeout called by Brimpong. And they want to talk about that. What's got to change for Vancouver going towards the final 2:07 this first half, Coach?
I feel they're settling a little. The last 3 they took, or the last few threes they took, those are threes they can get any time. They need to provoke a little more. I believe Coach Brimpong is going to talk about this. Attack the paint. Provoke the defense a little more.
Vancouver playing modern-day basketball under Coach Julius and Brimpong in this edition of the Vancouver Bandits. This team's been chasing the CEBL title. If you recall, Coach, 2 years ago, they lost the heartbreaker to Niagara on this court in August, and they've been chasing. They got skunked by Calgary last year in their minds, and how they lost in the semifinal. It feels like this team means business, and they have handled their business for the most part, and now they hit a bit of adversity here, Coach, as you see from the finish from Guerrier, going towards the final 2:07 this first half.
So Montreal has a style on offense. They play inside out. Instead of ton of ball screens with Quincy Guerrier or Jack Hemphill, they slow it down in the half court, but they gotta be selective in transition. If there's a fast break opportunity, use it. That's 2 possessions in a row. They got easy buckets. Blondo Chiquinho with the coast-to-coast layup, and then the high-low pass for a steal for Quincy Guerrier, who was matched up by a smaller defender.
Let's go down to Corbino Dora with a Bandit update from the huddle.
So, Mo, that huddle was very positive. Coach was talking to the team, telling them, hey, we cannot be frustrated. We're still in the game, but we have to play our game to cut down this three-point lead for Montreal. He talked about getting back on defense and then getting into their spots on offense and running their sets and not playing to Montreal's level rather than playing and taking what Montreal is giving them. So we'll see how they respond. Mo?
Thank you, Korean. Speaking of Chris Wiggins, the silent reporter of the Bandits, he said this team has really embraced Frimpong's style and philosophy. He wants to learn about these guys, Coach. And you know what, being the head coach of a basketball team, how tough it is to do in-season change. And so far, they've done pretty well in terms of the adjustment to Coach Frimpong. And Zimmerman Jr., last touched by Montreal.
Right, so with regards to in-season coaching changes, you see that every now and then. You don't want to see it. It's not easy to adjust. As the coach coming in, you don't want to make too many changes. You want to keep things similar. And
defending for Montreal is the art of defending, and they come up with a turnover back to Montreal. Their biggest lead of 3 with 1:40 left. And here it is, Coach, on the Zimmerman finish. He just couldn't get the required goods to go through.
So we're seeing Vancouver attempting to deny the point guard here coming off the floor, right? They're trying to disrupt Montreal's rhythm. But now it's another easy post-up catch for Quincy Guerrier.
And an easy finish by Guerrier. The coolest man in the court comes up with another 2. Montreal up by 5.
Again, the styles of clash. The styles are clashing, Mo, and it's favoring Montreal right now.
Gibbons. And that clash comes through again for Gibbons, and he has been phenomenal for this Bandit team this first half.
Right now, Shamar Gibbons is showing a clinic at rejecting the ball screen. He's looking at his defender's eyes. The defender, Blondo Chiquinho in this case, is looking for the screen. And the moment he peeks at the screen, Shamar Gibbons is gone. He's at the rim.
Repelled away, kept away, and touched away. This remains Montreal ball. 3 left in the shot clock. 46 seconds left on the game clock. And you talk about Shamar Gibbons. He is a beautiful piece of machinery for this Bandit team. And here is Gurry in the low block on the pirouette and had that blocked away by. And that is the finish for the Alliance on live action. And now they're back up again by 5. Gibbons open for Knight the third. And a rebound for Barthélemy. 26 seconds left in this first half. Do you slow it down to play for the last shot?
Montreal, sure. They didn't get an early push. They didn't get an opportunistic fast break. Go to your next action. Make sure you run something good. A pet play, maybe. A quality shot here is needed.
And the rebound right back to Vancouver. 6 seconds left to go in this first half of play. And Knight the third was caught in 2 lines. And the pantomime body reaction from his expression says it all on the frustration on that call against him.
I thought Vancouver had enough time to push there, but Guillaume Payen-Boucard's offensive crash on the O-boards caused some pressure on the defensive rebounder, some indecision, and fortunately, they get the ball back now.
Last action in the first half. Guerrier at the deck. Spot! At the end of one half, Montreal 47, Vancouver 39. The octave of Verdun has risen to another decibel, and Vancouver wobbling the knees, going to the team talk at halftime. We're through 20 minutes of play. Montreal up by a score of 47-39. Coming up at half, stay tuned. We'll find out how this plays out here as Quincy Guerrier with the at-the-death buzzer shot against the Vancouver Bandits. Let's go down to Corbino Dora, who will be joined by one of the members of the Montreal Alliance, and it will be Jack Hemphill who will be joining the Corbino Dora halftime chit-chat. Let's go down to Corbino with Jack Hemphill of the Montreal Alliance.
That was quite the ending to the quarter. What is working for you guys?
Obviously, like we saw, getting the ball to Quincy, he's dominant in the post, got a lot of moves, he's drawing a lot of attention, and so everyone's going to get better shots out of it as well.
In that first quarter, when you were in the game, you made sure to help the Alliance stay in the game. What was going on in your head?
Man, just praying, asking God to help me stay focused and, hit some shots, get some rebounds, just try to get us going.
And finally, it is Fan Appreciation Night. The crowd is really into this game. How much would it mean to win for them?
It would mean everything for them, man. They've been so loyal to us, so supportive of us all year, so that's what we're trying to do, is do it for them.
Thank you very much, and good luck in the second half.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Back to you, Mo.
One half done. The Alliance are up by a score of 47-39. Come up at half, CEBL feature, content creation and storytelling. Miller Kopp, Corbino will talk with the division head coach of the Vancouver Bandits and Rans Brempong in the first half stats and revisit Mike's players to watch and more here. Right now, the Alliance fans are content, but it's only 20 minutes through with 20 minutes to go. Stay tuned from Verdun, Quebec. You watch CEBL live on CBC Gem, YouTube, CBL Plus, listening to TSN 690. Montreal so far, they defended well, and they hit some shots key late in this first half, courtesy Jack Hemphill and Quincy Guerrier. Stay tuned for the halftime from Verdun, Quebec.
My name is Miller Kopp. I am 27 years old from Houston, Texas. I play for the Vancouver Bandits. The reason I started posting even on social media in terms of basketball and my journey was not basketball at all. Actually, it was because I just wanted to make some funny videos. I didn't have any direction really besides making stuff that I thought was funny with me and my teammates at the time. And from there, it morphed and grew into connecting with a lot of basketball players and giving advice and sharing lessons that I learned throughout the years. That's been really cool to see. So I continue to post depending on what I'm doing and what I'm learning, and yeah, it's been cool.
Last year I was used to playing against Tiddlywinks, and so now it's a different level. It's a different level of ball. So,
well, when I was in college, I thought something was kind of funny. I had this idea in my head where it was me and one of my teammates after a game doing a press conference. And we had won the game, and it was great. Vibes were high, and we were feeling good. And me and him went up there, and I was a senior, and he was a freshman. And I was kind of just wanting to not mess with him, but give him a little fun game to play, him and I. And so I said, hey, man, you got to get this word, use this word in the interview, throughout the interview. And I had one for myself, and his was marinate. His was banana, and mine was marinate. And so we had to use those words in the interview and just naturally just try to intertwine them in there. You put the work in, and sometimes it doesn't show, right when you want it to. It's like, marinating chicken. And so I made a video of like the behind the scenes of that, and I was like, hey bro, this is your word for the interview. Like, this is mine, we got to get it in there. And so I filmed the whole thing from like holding my phone under the desk. And that went like mega viral. It was hilarious, and it got like millions of views. And so it became like a trend. And I realized that like people want to see the behind the scenes of the interview, or they want to see the behind the scenes of like the real player, not just on the court. And it became a thing that other teams were doing it, other players and content creators. And before the games at Indiana, I'd be warming up in like layup lines, and fans would be screaming, what's the word for today? What's the word for today? And I ended up having to stop it because it was like a distraction in a sense, because people were so worried about, or not worried about, but they were so interested into like, what was the word for the day after the game? And so that kind of woke me up in terms of realizing that, man, people just, they want to see the behind the scenes of the human level of these athletes and basketball players. And so that was a big moment for me.
All right, welcome back to Verdun halftime here. Halftime party going on, and it's been a party atmosphere for the Lions so far, up by a score of 47-39 over Vancouver. Coach, let's take a look at the first half highlights. And again, it took a while for Montreal. It was a slow burn coming out of the blocks, but they chiseled their way into this game, and they found their seam of points in the second quarter play.
Well, they settled down offensively. I've been saying that they have a top-ranked defense. Your defense doesn't stand a chance if you're allowing the team to run or if you're turning their ball over. They found their poise in the second quarter. They had 6 turnovers in the first quarter, 0 in the second quarter. That's always going to help. Quality shots on offense. Give your defense a chance to set up in trend or after transition.
For Vancouver, it was sort of a hot and cold streak for them, Coach. They were cold to start off, but they found their three-point shot late in that first quarter. Overall, they shot the ball at 36%. They were 5 of 19 for three-point range. So what's got to change for them in the second half here, Coach? Is it Tyree Samuel, who was a bystander on the bench because he had 2 early fouls in that first half?
So I suspect he's not going to sit much in the second half. That being said, it's not easy to rebuild a rhythm. He's not in rhythm. He's played a total of 3 minutes. It's hampered their rotation. It changed their substitution pattern, and they need to find more paint presence. They need to disorganize Montreal's defense a little more. They've taken 19 three-pointers, but they've only taken 17 two-pointers, right? So that's the offensive balance we were talking about before the game.
And here are the halftime stats, and so far it's one-way traffic minus free throws for the Lions. Field goal numbers, 55%. Three-point shooting is a plus 12. Dimes are almost 50-50. Rebounds are almost 50-50. What could be the difference in the second half for either Vancouver or Montreal to win, Coach?
So if Vancouver finds a solution for Montreal's post-ups of Quincy Guerrier, that'll help for sure. And if they can get out running more off of those stops and stay out of foul trouble. On Montreal's side, keep punching away inside. They're actually freeing up for good open shots from three-point range by establishing their inside offense.
Stay tuned for second half action and watch the CEBL live on CBC Gem, YouTube, listening on TSN 690. And also CEBL Plus halftime, Vancouver up by a score of 47-39. Montreal, could they get win number 10? Stay tuned from Verdun, Quebec. Welcome back to Verdun. Corbino Doro, Mike Shemlewski, Mo Khan on this Tuesday night. And anxious moments perhaps coming up for these teams in the CEBL. And the players to watch, Coach, it's been one way. It's been favoring Quincy Gurry minus the field goal number, which is favoring Tyrese Samuel.
Right, so it's just a tale of who's been on the floor longer. Tyrese has been limited to 3 minutes because of foul trouble. Quincy Gary has only gotten 10 minutes because he did pick up a second foul, and Montreal opted to protect his fouls for the second half by pulling him early in the second quarter. I suspect Tyrese Samuels will have something to say in the second quarter.
I think he'll have something to say absolutely about what's going to happen as well going forward as well. We'll see what happens with Tyrese Samuel, what he can do. And here is Quincy Gurry and what he brought. He did it in the paint, outside the paint, and hit a big three that really got the roar at a next level for the fan base here in Verdun at the depth of that first half. So for Quincy Gurry, we'll see what he can do. Remember, he had 32 points. You mentioned before he was trying to catch his win last week against Ottawa, and now he's back in game number 3 for the Lions as they look to get themselves maybe win number 10 of the season. And here is Jack Hemphill, Coach. We talked about at the start of the second quarter. Quietly, he's gone about his business with 9 points, 4 of 7 shooting in this first half.
He's they have an interesting duo there. Two players that can do damage inside and out, right? So Quincy's found a good rhythm, posting up smaller defenders, flattening out the defense because the ball's more on the baseline. That frees up perimeter shooting. And Jack Hemphill he's been doing his damage a little all over the court, right? So he's an energy player. He keeps possessions alive. He's a good shooter. He's a good slasher.
Let's go to Corbino Doro with Coach Brimpong of the Vancouver Bandits.
Coach, that felt like a playoff game. What did you like about the first half?
I liked our fight. I mean, up until the last 2 minutes of the game, we were right in there neck and neck. It's still under 10. We pretty much played that whole first half without our main big, right? Reese was primed and ready, and you know, you got 2 early fouls, so we're excited to have him back.
So in that second half, what is the message to your team?
That we actually have them right where we want them. We've been here before. Continue to fight, continue to trust the plan, and let's come out here with a win.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back to you.
You got to like his confidence, have them right where they want them. And the last time I heard that quote was from John Huffnagel of the Calgary Stampeders when they beat the Alouettes in the Grey Cup in 2008 in Montreal. And here is the halftime highlight pack, and here is what they did, Coach. And Jarrell Eddy was the reason why they kept this game within range and had the lead for the bulk of it.
So Vancouver started out hot, lots of off-ball actions, lots of bone-crushing screens set by Zimmerman and Samuels. Some foul trouble cut into their rotation and depth. Needed to play a little smaller. Montreal countered that with more switching on defense, which slowed Vancouver's offense down and gave Montreal a boost to their offense.
And we'll see what they can do. The Jarrell Eddy-led Bandits. And here is the red tag dossier path to the playoffs, Coach. And we look at the East. The West is pretty much settled in, except for 1 and 2 will be Vancouver, Winnipeg. We'll find out. Tonight's going to be a key piece. But that East, Coach, it's like snakes and ladders right now. If Montreal were to win, they're back in that 2-3 range. But, of course, we'll see how this plays out going towards the final 20 minutes of play here from Verdun. Let's go to Corbino Doro, who is here for Fan Appreciation Day in the stands. So he's living in the jungle of people right now in Verdun, Quebec.
So, Mo, we have a great crowd, and it is the last regular season home game, and it is Fan Appreciation Night. So I went into the stands, and I looked for a fan that I wanted to speak to. I have Amr here, who's here with his son. It is his first Alliance game. How are you enjoying the experience?
Better than I expected. It's a very good experience so far.
What do you want your son to take out of this game?
Well, Montreal doesn't have an NBA team, but we have a really strong basketball culture here, and I think he knows that now.
So are you hoping that eventually Montreal gets that NBA team?
Absolutely. That is the dream, but so far so good. Happy with this experience.
And what are you expecting in the second half from the Alliance?
Definitely for them to get a better lead and to win this game.
Thank you very much. So, Mo, there are a bunch of fans all in the stand. There is a Go Alliance sign right there, and people are just happy to be here, and they're all hoping that the Montreal Alliance come away with the win. And, Mo, I just want to shout out the crew that helps us put the broadcast together. I know you're going going to do that, but I'm going to one-up you and just say that thank you, everyone, for accepting me and letting me be a part of this broadcast team. Mo, back to you.
I, for one, have not accepted you into this broadcast crew, Kubina, but thank you, Kubina. Thank you. You're 100% right. The men and women on this crew have been MVPs for us, Coach, making Kubina, Dwight, you and I look like 4K specialists out there. And we want to thank them for their hard work for the entire season. Any question that we've had, they've come up with an answer or solution to what we want, and they have really brought and elevated our profile in the CEBL. So a big thank you to all of our broadcast crew, production team members across the board. So thank you so much. And there they are in the back room right there. That is where the madness happens, in that little square circle there. Sébastien Charret and his crew, they have done a wonderful job for us this year, Coach.
Thank you, everyone.
And we'll get ready now for the second half here from Verdun. And for the Alliance, when they lead at halftime, they're 8-6. Vancouver, when they trail at halftime, they're 3-5.
A little adjustment here by Coach Brempong, changing his starting lineup to start the second half. He's putting both bigs on the floor at the same time now.
We'll see what Gibbons, the accelerator, can do. We'll see what the Dynamite bigs can do for this Bandit team. Can they lean on this Montreal team? Ojo watching Samuel, his first touch of the second half. Backing up with the Delts, cutting through his Gibbons, in traffic, in for 2, and they're down by 6.
Another timely cut by Shamar Gibbons. Great look. Great pass off by Tyrese Samuels.
Coach, is the pressure on Montreal, when you think about that, they had the momentum at halftime, and that halftime break comes maybe at a good time for the Bandits to kind of recalibrate, readjust, and reconfigure?
Yes and no. Like, from a human nature point of view, yeah, the pressure's on them, but you really want to race the first half, and the message has got to be, let's win the second half.
Great.
Take it to them.
4 o'clock.
You can't play like you have a lead.
And right now the Bandits are on the bike. Samuel with the hammer. And they're down by 4.
Just like that, 4-0 run to start the third quarter.
And Montreal twitchy. And the Bandits starting to accelerate. Odro, the hook, too strong. Rebound Williams the third, a reload. Chiquenio's three from the 45. Splash. And the tonic required from long range.
What did we say, Mo, in the first half? Offensive rebounds either lead to putback fouls or open threes if you are decisive with your kickouts and passes.
6-3 of the day from Montreal. They make about 8 a game, which is dead last in the league. Zimmerman with the sky hook coming through the jungle.
He's got he's a lefty that can bother defenders a bit. It's different, right? You don't play post up left-handers as often.
And Chiquenio, a kamikaze moment for him as he's gone back-to-back threes to back up by 8.
We're going to talk about Blondo Chiquenio's 3 there, but that was all facilitated by another screen by Quincy Guerrier.
Samuel, the pirouette to the left over Otro. He's got point number 4 in the second half.
As long as he stays out of foul trouble, I suspect we're going to see a lot more of that.
Chiquenio back with it, south of 8. Guerrier on the interplay. Kick out. Chiquenio for the hat trick. And a rebound right back to Eddie. And a one and done for the Lions.
Vancouver's trying to run, but they started too big, so...
And Samuel got fouled by Odro, and you think the team talk at halftime definitely inspired Tyrese Samuel in his hometown, Coach? I think it has.
Absolutely, and so far so good. Can't ask for a better start to a third quarter. He's loose, he's mobile, he's agile, he's athletic. Nothing the defender can do there in transition.
He is definitely a box office name for this Bandit team. On the cusp of breaking some individual records for the Vancouver Bandits. 7:42 left in this third quarter play. Winnipeg, Montreal fans, NRL, Ottawa, Brampton, Vancouver fans. And you talk about the parity, the depth of this league this year, Coach. We're in the late stages of the year. 9 of the 10 teams are in playoff conversation going towards the final 5 days of the regular season.
But that doesn't happen too often, right? There's 2 games left in the season, and basically everyone's still alive for a playoff berth. And
Calgary made a run, but just ran out of the racetrack. And who knows if they had maybe 3 or 4 more games left, they might have been in that talk as well. Chiquenio.
Yeah, they ran out of time.
Guerrier off balance, thought he was fouled, and here is Samuel. He's on his bike.
So I like what Coach Brempong has done to start the second half. He's countered Montreal's style of play by going bigger to start the third quarter. So the post-up opportunities for Montreal are not as obvious anymore.
Hat trick of threes in this third quarter for Blondo Chiquenho.
Now, will Montreal counter that by playing a little more open and fast, because Vancouver's bigger but a little slower on the floor right now?
And that is off of Zimmerman Jr.'s hand. This goes back to the Alliance. IT Horton coming back in. And, you know, we were talking to Joey Slattery of Winnipeg, and we were talking about Montreal's lineup of late. And you were here last week with yours truly. They're doing it with pretty much a Canadian 5 on the court as starters and finishers, which has been impressive for them.
Yeah, and you know what? That could have a ripple effect. It can attract more players for the next seasons. It can attract more of the Canadians looking for an opportunity.
And Williams III got caught in two minds on that miss. And Montreal up by 8, 6:35 left in this third quarter. Gibbons. Samuel in the high block. Here's Gibbons on the interplay. That's pushed away by Boucard, the veteran. Cheeky on that. And that's a giveaway by Boucard. And here's Yali. And there's the goal as they punish the Alliance on the mistake by Boucard, courtesy of Tyrese Samuel.
The live ball turnovers at this level are automatic offense for the opponent.
And Montreal is a little bit off the rails, and here are the Bandits. They're down by 6 to go in this third quarter play. They are starting to fizz. The West Coast boys might have had a long flight, but now they found their in-flight movie. From the 45, splash, and they're down by 3. And Montreal will play on, not a call timeout yet.
Right, might be a little early to call a timeout, but you get the sense that Vancouver's settling in with their bigger lineup, and the game's opening up for them offensively.
5-0 run. And Montreal just trying to calm the heartbeats. Horton. And a loose ball. Another bad turnover by the Alliance, 3-on-2. Here is the transition. There's Gibbons. Pushed away by Guerrier.
Great effort, not giving up on the play by Quincy Guerrier.
Chiquenho not giving up on that play on a drive-by, point number 11 in the third quarter. Gibbons now on the go. This is an F1 race, and the forensic finish by Samuel, and he is starting to hulk up in this third period of play.
Tyrese Samuel's playing with a lot of energy, a lot of emotions. Gotta be careful not to look at the refs too much there. Technical fouls count as personals here, right? It's okay to be emotional and pump yourself up. Just try to keep it within your cylinder, so to speak.
Well, he might have had a pent-up emotion in his body as he had to watch as a tourist on the court. So now Odro comes in with Johnson, with Hemphill, and Barthélemy. So Montreal trying to counter the size. Stay tuned here. We'll talk about that point. 4:48 left in this third quarter play. Montreal 58, Vancouver 55. You're watching CBL live on CBC Gem, YouTube, CBL Plus, and listening to TSN 690. Tyrese Samuel, he's hungry. Stay tuned.
Somo, the player for Vancouver who's starting to pick it up, he's starting to get into his groove, is a Montrealer. Tyrese Samuel is having himself a third quarter. He's from LaSalle, Quebec, and he has played many years of basketball in Montreal, and then he's went around and he's played even for the G League, the Raptors 905. and he's starting to settle into playing a big role here. Like Mike said, he has a lot of energy right now, and you have to think that it's also because he's playing in Montreal, because when I talk to the coaches on the side who are from Montreal, they say that this game is one that was circled, and it is a Montreal takeover in Vancouver. Mo?
And there he is, the LaSalle Leaders Program. Coach Saad Majid and his staff are here courtside watching their former player play, and that's a proud moment, Coach. You know very well, seeing your players go professionally or play high-level ball. It's always great, the labor of love that you put into these young men. Ojo with the finish, and Montreal back up by 5.
Right, so Montreal just can't allow Vancouver's bigs to relax on defense, right? That was a good play out of the timeout to go after Tyrese Samuels. Unfortunately, they give up a coast-to-coast to Shamar Gibbons.
So Triquinio 11 in this quarter. Tyrese Samuel with 9 in this quarter, and Montreal's up by 3 in this quarter. Here's Odro. Remember, he had a big third quarter against Ottawa last Friday in this court. Barthélemy. Really, it might be the margin of error razor sharp. 3 left in the shot clock for number 3, and he misses the 3. And Zimmerman on the cleanup. Back out it goes towards Eddie with 3:55 left in this quarter play. Samuel, he is really feeling it. Not that time.
All right, so Tyrese Samuels has a quick 9 points out of the gate here in the third quarter. They were all at the rim, though.
Barthélemy, Hemphill from the center arc. And Montreal misses that, and a reload for them. They've hit 8 threes in this game on 20 attempts. Barthélemy, they're 0-2 in the last 2 attempts. And Montreal now trying to keep themselves going forward here in this game. The Eastern Conference game presented by Lotto Max, and Gibbons can play the Lotto tonight because he has been maximum potential. And a timeout called by the Lions. 3:17 left here, 1 point lead. What's got to change for Montreal with Vancouver starting to really wake up from their jet lag?
That's the third or fourth time Shamar Gibbons has caught Montreal's defender peeking or looking at where the screen is coming from. And he times his we like to call this rejecting the screen, right? So he caught Guillaume Boucard peeking or leaning over towards the screen, but the defenders weren't on the same page there. Guillaume Perrin-Boucard was in an ice position, meaning reject the screen. However, his teammate was on the other side of the screener. So there was no help after Shamar Gibbons rejected that screen. That's the third or fourth time he's done it this game.
And there are the benches right there. And don't forget, Montreal fans, get your exclusive Alliance merch now, including the 2026 Summer Collection, and rep MTL hoodies to support the teams during their playoff push. And right now, Coach, this is a game that's pretty much a push. It's in the balance. 1 point lead for Montreal over Vancouver. And with 3:17 left, this could really give that momentum that could snowball for one of these teams in the fourth quarter. It feels like Vancouver's got that mantle to work with going towards the final 3 and change.
They got the momentum right now. Montreal has not countered their big lineup, Vancouver's big lineup, efficiently right now, so it's causing them problems, and they're going to stay with this lineup until Montreal figures it out.
And right now, the body shape has not been right for the Lions coming out of the break in this second half. And the Bandits have been in shape in the second half. Here's Ojo trying to get in shape with that finish. Can't do so. Samuel in the recovery. And here's Gibbons. South of 3 in this third quarter. Pushed away and kept away. And here comes Boucard, 3-on-1. Williams the third. Boucard! Electric finish by him.
Right, so live ball turnovers go both ways. Montreal can run also on these quick turnovers. Nice little 3-on-1.
2:43 left in this third quarter play. Samuel. And this could be a big moment here, and this will be a foul call. And to the surprise of many, Coach, it's only the third team foul in this quarter. 2 for Montreal, 1 for Vancouver. So really, it's been a good flow from both ends of the court.
Both teams have settled in. They've gotten comfortable with each other's go-to sets. They're not caught. They're not surprised by any of these actions, so the defense has picked up.
Gibbons for 3. Cash, money, nothing but a splash on that. Back to parity we go.
Montreal's going to have to solve that ball screen action that Vancouver is going to. Shamar Gibbons is too talented to come off those screens with no help or support.
Odro the shot block leader. He's a few away from 100 in his career. Barthélemy. Rebound Samuel, and a chance to retake the lead for the Bandits. And they'll slow it down with 2 left in this third quarter play. A little direct traffic, and here is Jarrell Eddy back with it. Pandy about to come back in for the Bandits. Zimmerman Jr., the high-low. Brown, Eddy, Samuel, to half. Back up by 2.
Doing a lot of damage down low. The Vancouver team is significantly bigger than Montreal right now with this 2 big lineup. Either Tyrese Samuels or Zimmerman is caught with a matchup advantage down low.
Audreau, Boucard looking, and we're back to 64 apiece with 1:24 left in this quarter play.
Good poise there by Guillaume Boucard. He used the rim to shield off the shot blocker there with a reverse layup.
Gibbons negotiating, ping-ponging his way through, and saved last touch, and this will be Montreal ball. Guerrero Chiqueno about to come back in. Lloyd Pandy about to come back in for Vancouver. As going off is Barthélemy and Boucard, and going off for Vancouver it will be Zimmerman. And here's the Tyrese hammer blow on the highlight, Coach.
Right, so like we were saying, they're playing 2 bigs. One of them just subbed off now, but when they have that 2 big lineup, either Tyrese Samuels or Stephen Zimmerman has a smaller defender on him. Not just smaller, significantly smaller. So that high-low pass was well executed, but also it was too much advantage to pass up on.
Battle of the wits with these 2 teams. Who could break the resistance now? Audreau, repelled. Audreau, part 2, 6 left in the shot clock. And that ball was last touched by Vancouver. 48 seconds left, but I think the shot clock should be adjusted, Coach. Not to 14, but it should be 6 seconds left.
So there was a kicking motion called by the ref. So
your eyes are better than my eyes, Coach. I'm wearing glasses today.
Right, so that was deflected by a kicking motion by Shamar Givens, so it's an automatic reset to 14.
Could Montreal stunt this Vancouver team? No. Foul called. And on the ground is Brown, and Audreau will be called for the foul, and I believe that'll be his 4th personal foul, and that is a serious headache for Jermaine Small when it comes to the size composition that he has available to him.
That's a big blow. Great effort by Tevin Brown to chase that stagger. Put the onus on the refs to make the call. Audreau couldn't resist. He moved at the last second, clipped him late. Obvious moving screen call. Bandit
fans bring the energy every night, and you can be a part of it this postseason. Tickets are available by scanning the QR code on bandits.ca/tickets. And they want to be the 1 seed, not the 2 seed. Gibbons. Pandy. Rebound, Chiqueno. 32 seconds left in this third quarter play. And can the heat map find Montreal more points, or will it be Vancouver ball with a chance to get the lead again? Back out to Hemphill, facing up against Eddy, using his delts. Hemphill, repelled out of bounds. And this is a Vancouver team that gets about 3 blocks a game. They had 7 in Vancouver, Coach, and so far today, as a whole, they have had 4 blocks in this game.
A lot of sneaky length by some of those defenders.
Hemphill at the death.
It's just a lot of length to deal with. It's a lot of length to deal with.
I think it's telescopic arms that they have out there.
Right, but Tyrese Samuels was disciplined enough not to bite on the first fake, caught him on the second attempt.
Last action of this third quarter play. Gibbons. And he will confirm that at the end of 3. And Coach Brimpong is very content with that, going towards quarter number 4. At the end of 3, round 3 to the Vancouver Bandits. Vancouver up by a score 66-64. And reason why? Shamar Gibbons to put Vancouver ahead. Stay tuned for fourth quarter action from Montreal.
You know that every CEBL game ends on a game-winning bucket? Yep, every single one. That's because we use something called target score ending, a thrilling twist that keeps fans locked in till the final shot. So what is the target score ending? Here's how it works. The first time the clock stops with 4 minutes or less left in the fourth quarter, the game clock is turned off. We enter target score time. We take the leading team's score, add 9 points, and that becomes the target score. Let's say it's 91-80. That means the first team to hit 100 wins. No ticking clock, no intentional fouls, just pure clutch basketball. It's fast, it's electric, and it guarantees that every game ends with a bang. Experience the target score ending this CEBL season.
Last game we had the Montreal Alouettes coach. This game we have Montreal Alouettes receiver Tyson Philpott. Tyson, you guys are 6-1. How well is the season going for you guys?
Yeah, it's the start that we wanted. Obviously, every year you talk about going 1-0 every week, and we're doing that. So just got to keep playing strong and finish the season strong.
So we were talking before we got on air. We were talking about your brother. Your brother, you played him back-to-back games. He had a nice touchdown last game. What is it like playing against your brother?
Yeah, it's a dream come true. Obviously we dreaming about playing professional, like to live out our dream. It doesn't get any better than that.
And how are you enjoying this game, and what advice would you give to the team right now?
Yeah, no, they're hooping. Obviously, like the Alouettes, got to finish strong, and we'll get that win.
Mo, you heard it here first. They need to finish strong and get the win, and that's from a Montreal Alouettes player who's currently 6-1.
And he is a June and a half Tyson Philpott for the Montreal Alouettes. And they left up a Tyson Philpott out there. And here comes Lou Williams III. Montreal down by 2. Montreal on the pirouette. Here's Williams III on the finish. And they get that through. Montreal when they trail going into the third quarter after that. They're 0-9. Vancouver when they lead after 3, they're 10-2.
Good little fast break, opportunistic transition by Montreal there. Off a live ball turnover.
Samuel. And he will go to the line. Coach, look at these third quarter stats here. Gibbons and Samuel have combined for 35 of the 66 points for this Bandit team. There's been 12 lead changes in this matchup. But what's caught your attention overall?
The synergy between Shamar Gibbons and Tyrese Samuels is a load for the Montreal defense to handle. They combined for 22 points of Vancouver's 27 in the third quarter. It helps that the big man is not in foul trouble and he's fresh.
And Samuel not so fresh at the line. He's missed 2 free throws in this game. 9:08 left as Zimmerman Jr. will come back in for the Bandits. And they're back up by 1, so we have the 13th lead change in this game.
So Coach Brempbaum opting to go back to their, let's call it the mega lineup, the big lineup.
I would say they're like the mega powers.
Right.
With all those big men out there. Samuel and Zimmerman Jr. Chiqueno back with it. Guerrier in traffic. Rebound Samuel south of 9.
So what that big lineup does now, it takes away some of the angles or finishing angles that Quincy Guerrier had in the first half.
That was ambitious off the miss. And here come the Alliance. Can they retake the lead? Chiqueno, Hemphill open through the center arc. Rebound Guerrier. And one. And you talk about this game, it's not the neatest matchup, but Quincy Guerrier has a chance to put Montreal up by 2.
So that was all created by Blando Chiquino's navigation in the ball screen. He put 2 defenders on the ball, found the open man, which was Jack Hemphill in this case, created an over-rotation, which leaves you sometimes soft on the boards.
And right now, the concentration levels will have to be top-notch. It's tense, and there's some more as well in this matchup. And right now, the Alliance have faltered. They're now 4 of 9 from the free throw line. They went 4 of 7 from the line and lost by 1 to Vancouver last time around. Brown, Zimmerman from the free throw line. That was repelled away by Boucard.
So Montreal showed some zone there on defense to steal a possession from Vancouver, and it worked.
Guenyo, Boucard, rebound, Barthélemy. Guerrier. He's clearing out. He wants Zerman on the end line. And Zerman wins that time, and the rebound back to Gibbons, and here he is on the go. Samuel on his tail, and they'll slow it down and reorganize with 18 left in the shot clock for Vancouver to work with. Down by 1 are the Bandits. Zerman open! And a highlight rim racker on that finish for Zerman.
Montreal was a little disorganized there defensively. Some of the guys were on man-to-man look. Some of them were in a zone. So they were lacking a defender on the back line.
Guerrier was trying to go for a highlight rim racker, but that was ruined by Tevin Brown on that finish. And free throws coming up here in this matchup. And, Coach, they've had the history of Vancouver-Montreal. This is now the 9th game between these two franchises since 2022. 3 of the games have gone by a single possession or less, 2 points or less. So this could be a knockout blow, win at the death type of matchup here for Quincy Guerrier and the Alliance and Tyrese Samuel and the Bandits.
I suspect we're heading for a similar finish. If you're Montreal, you got to keep attacking offensively. Maybe a little differently, maybe more of a face-up situation facing the basket for Quincy Guerrier, since now there's all that size from Vancouver to deal with. But nonetheless, you gotta keep an aggressive mentality on offense and stay poised.
All right, let's check out to the cruise of the game presented by Cal Tire, Coach. And here it is, Brown to Samuel. And that is the dark arts of basketball at its finest.
Well, that must have felt good for Tyrese Samuels. It was all created by a live ball turnover at half court, which led to a 2-on-1. And when you have a lob option like Tyrese Samuels, good things are going to happen.
And don't forget, this Sunday, the Bandits close out their regular season at home when they welcome the Winnipeg Sea Bears to a Vision Financial Court at Langley Event Center in a meeting of the top 2 teams in the Cal Tire Western Conference tip-off nationally on CBC at 3:30 p.m. East, 12:30 p.m. Pacific. And for the Alliance, they go to the CAA Center in Brampton in what could be a make-or-break game for both teams in the Lotto Max Eastern Conference matchup. Tip-off for that game, 7:30 p.m. Thursday night in Ontario. So right now, Coach, tail of the tape, 1 point lead for Vancouver. Would you say it is the Bandits who have momentum right now?
It's a toss-up. I think Montreal has settled in a bit. I will say the two bigs at once lineup for Vancouver has caused Montreal issues. So they may have to do an adjustment, which is contrary to the style of play that they've been using the last few games, which is play a little faster or more open, because they don't have the size advantage right now.
And right there, the advantage goes to the Alliance as they're up by 1, 7:28 left in this game. And the die numbers before we go to the target time, who has the magical finish in their fingertips? Is it Vancouver? Is it Montreal? All eyes on this game tonight for many reasons.
Montreal is showing that zone defense again.
Here's Gibbons, watched by Horton. In traffic, fade. Rebound Guerrier. And Montreal has 7 minutes left in this game. We're 3 away from target. Who will have the lead going to target? This might be last shot wins. Odro on 4 fouls. Here is Barthélemy for 3. Idea was there, but the execution was not.
It was a decent set play there. So you had a small on big back screen, or we like to call them rip screens. So Keyshawn Barthélemy was setting a back screen for Quincy to the rim. So forced overhelp, freed him up for a shot. Unfortunately, he didn't have enough legs behind him.
Barthélemy 0-5 from 3-point range tonight. Brown.
Montreal staying in that zone.
The fade. And confirmed as he unlocks the zone to back up by 1.
I mean, you'll live with that if you're Montreal's defense, but what a touch by the big man.
Almost like a Arvydas Sabonis touch on that finish. 6:15 left in this ball game. Odro. Guerrier. Cutting. Too strong, and maybe the presence of Zerman might have altered that shot. Transition Eddie. Here's Brown, cut off by Horton. Backdoor Eddie. From the flat, Samuel. And the rebound will find Odro's way, and here comes Barthélemy the other way. 1 man to beat. First place finish, Montreal up by 1.
Great opportunistic push by Keyshawn Barthélemy. He saw the defenders weren't ready. Went and got an easy 2 for his team.
And Montreal back with it. A chance to extend the lead.
I suspect they need to do this a little more as long as Vancouver stays with the 2 big bodies on the floor.
Horton on the pick and pop. He'll go himself. Finger roll. Timeout Vancouver. Montreal up by 3. 5:23 left in this ball game. Pandy about to come back in for the Bandits, but Brimpong wants to talk about it. And again, this game of chess. A brilliant finish by I.T. Horton, and now it's Vancouver a little bit wobbly at the knees, going towards maybe the final 123 before target time here, Coach. What has to change for Vancouver to retake the lead as they're down by 3?
So here we have that nice push-out dribble by Keyshawn Barthélemy to the outside. And here it's just no set plays, just spread them out, attack. They got 2 bigger players on the floor. Maybe your set plays, all those screens won't work. Maybe it plays to Vancouver's advantage too much. So maybe it just spread it out and attack. And it's helped the last 2 possessions.
And right now for the Alliance, they want to get win number 10 and give a early Christmas gift to the Winnipeg Sea Bears to keep their conversation going with Vancouver. Because remember, if Vancouver were to lose tonight, Coach, it opens the door for Winnipeg, who have another game coming up before Sunday, to win that. And it would set the showdown in Sunday in Vancouver. Winner essentially would get home court going towards the playoffs. And remember, Winnipeg has the point differential if it ends up being the same record, and it ends up being a 2-2 tie in the head-to-head series.
Right, so there's a lot to play for here for both teams. For Vancouver, it's home court advantage on their side of the bracket. They need to come out of this game with a win.
Over 3,500 here tonight in Montreal, and they've been given a CEBL treat. And right now, we'll see with 5:23 left, 3-point lead for the Alliance over the Bandits. Covino Doro, Mike Shamlewski, Mo Khan. And now it is the turn of Vancouver. What is in their bag of tricks? They'll have to go to the Street Smarts, the UTEP Street Smarts of Shamar Gibbons.
So Vancouver has finally given Tyrese Samuels a blow here, a bit of a rest. I suspect it won't be long. Montreal is staying in that shifting zone.
Gibbons. And that is last touch by Vancouver. Montreal ball. So, Coach, it's still a 1-score difference with Montreal up by 3. We're almost entering target time. What's going to happen? If Montreal's holding a 3-point lead in target time, do they want to play it out, get some more points, or foul right away and play it out like that?
Keep pushing. Stay with it. Keep pushing. Keep being the aggressor.
And Horton almost...
Don't overanalyze it. You know who you are at this point. I hope you know who you are at this point of the year. These are the last 2 games of the year.
Guerrier. At the depth is Barthélemy. He's 0-6 from 3. And he knows it, that he missed that shot. Eddie back with it. Zerman on the turn. And he's bear hugged by Guerrier from the flats. And Vancouver's gone cold from 3 again. And here is Barthélemy on his bike. Gibbons. Oh, that was close because it looked like he had the edge on him getting that ball back. But he's called for the foul instead.
That was a good defensive challenge by Shamar Gibbons. That was a 50-50 call. Keyshawn was trying to recreate a similar fast break opportunity from a few possessions ago.
And if you look at the Montreal fans' reaction, they said it was foul. Gibbons thought otherwise, but that was very close to being a turnover by Barthélemy. Guerrier on the side out. A congestion of bodies in the paint as Tyrese Samuel back in the game. So what does he bring now, Coach, going towards the end of this matchup here with these 2 teams going at it?
Right, so Vancouver's opting to go back to their starting lineup from the first quarter, the one that had good flow to start with. More traditional, 1 big. So Stephen Zimmerson is out. Tyrese Samuels sat for about a minute.
So Patty called for his 2nd personal foul, 14th foul of Vancouver, 1 of Montreal. So Montreal, I beg your pardon, has fouls to give if that is the case to be in this matchup. Boucard back with it. Horton, patience of virtue for the Lions. 6 left in the shot clock. That goes out of bounds. Last touch by Pandy. Montreal ball. 6 to go on the clock, 4:06 left on the game clock. Timeout called by the Lions. So, all right, let's use that coaching cap of yours. Mike, what has to change for Montreal to maybe get another basket to give themselves an insurance policy going towards target territory?
Right, so there's a short clock to work here. They only have 6 seconds left on the shot clock, and then the next stoppage of play will take them to target score. So ideally, you get points on the board here, and you put the pressure on Vancouver to come up with something on their end. I will say this: now that Vancouver went to their smaller lineup, this whole possession, Montreal has tried to get it back inside on the baseline to Quincy Guerrier. On the flip side, Vancouver being a little smaller than their big lineup has allowed them to pressure the ball a little more. So, it's always that seesaw battle with the styles clash.
And we'll see what is going to happen here in this matchup coming up with these two teams. And we'll get an update from Cobina Doro with how the heartbeat is for both benches. And for Montreal, this is a must-need win for them to keep their playoff hopes alive. If they do so, they will be in the thick of the race going towards Thursday in Brampton against Montreal, and that is pretty much winning you're in for either side.
Right. So first, let's start with, if you're Montreal, start with this finish this game off, get this next possession. Worry about the next game when the next game comes.
And for Vancouver, they know the next game will be Winnipeg, but they like to give themselves a gloss of the win-loss record to go up to 15 wins and put the pressure on Winnipeg, who are chasing them going weekend Sunday in Vancouver. And I'll tell you one thing, Mike, if Winnipeg were to get home court, you might get 15,000 CEBL fans for all the home games at Canada Life Center.
Oh, stagger screen for Keyshawn.
Guerrier, backdoor.
Nice backdoor. Got to go up.
Denied. And here comes Gibbons. We are now in target time. And that is taken away by Horton, repelled away by Guerrier, who timed it up well enough on the trap. Boucard. Cutting. Guerrier! Montreal up by 5.
You could not have scripted that better if you're Montreal. They have a foul. They have a foul to give. Yep, they gave it. They want target score to start.
And the foul will be called on Boucard. We're now in target time. We're going to target time. Your target number will be 85 points. Stay tuned for the final chapter between Vancouver and Montreal. Reason why? Quincy Guerrier. Stay tuned for Verdun.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. And it goes Nick Hornby. Here's Oakland for the win. You gotta love a Canadian blues. Two hands. Oh, what a block from behind.
Next bucket wins. Target score time is the best time of a game. The energy, the drama,
that anything can happen. Oh my goodness! Can you believe this guy?
big players step up in big time. He is cooking.
Welcome back. Let's go down to Cobina Doro with a sideline update as you go into target time.
So, Mo, I went behind both benches to try and get a feel for the temperature heading into target time. Montreal side, it's more about staying composed. Every possession matters. Don't be too reckless and play their game. The Vancouver side, when I interviewed the coach at halftime, he said that he has Montreal. He says it's a game of runs, but in this one, he was talking about how they need to get stops. So for them, it's defense that will lead into offense. Mo?
Thank you so much, Cobina. And Montreal, when they lead going into target time, they're 8-3. Vancouver, when they trail going into target time, they're 1-7. And who did that one win come against, Coach? The Montreal Lions. So perhaps the scene of the crime coming out to the East Coast in Montreal. Eddie's three. Right now, Vancouver has gone.
That's a huge rebound by Montreal. They're sticking to their zone. They feel like they have something. They're keeping Vancouver out of the paint. They feel like they can force them to take these neutral threes, we like to call them, where they haven't disorganized the defense much. Vancouver has gone back to their big lineup.
And the big comes up right on cue, and here is Gibbons. And here are the Bandits from the 45. And they're now 7 of 29 from 3. And we go back the other way. Montreal up by 5. Target number is 85.
Coach Smalls is looking to bring Blondo Chiquinho back in to push the pace, I suspect.
Forwards in, flanks it. Rebound Zimmerman. Here is Gibbons.
Not a lot of room on the offensive side for Montreal when those two bigs are on the floor.
Right now, the frailties have to be minimal for both teams. Gibbons is fouled and will go to the free throw line with 2 attempts coming up. And this will be free throw number 17-18 for the Bandits. And for Shamar Gibbons, he is 6 of 6, as you see from the impact that he had.
So Montreal here is in a drop coverage on those middle ball screens. It's putting a lot of pressure for the ball handler defender. In this case, it was Guillaume Payen-Boucard. With someone as fast as Shamar Gibbons, it puts a lot of pressure on him to fight over or under the screen. Just a slight clip by the screener gives Shamar too much of an advantage there.
And Gibbons, ice cold, smooth from the line. And he has definitely been the creator and the enforcer of this offense. On a night where Tyrese Samuel did not have the best first half, Shamar Gibbons has been the underlying story, being the headliner for this Bandit team. 2 of 2, and now they're down by 3 in this head-to-head, and only need 12 to win. And don't forget, Montreal, when they are in target time, and a giveaway, Gibbons on the freeway, and he has point number 4, and they're down by 1.
Right, so that's pretty much a nightmare start to the target time. Live ball turnover, an easy 2 for Shamar Gibbons.
Guerrier will go to the free throw line, and it has been a lot of twists and turns at the line for the Alliance so far from the free throw line. They're 6 of 11, and for Quincy Guerrier today, Coach, he's 5 of 7 from the line.
More importantly, it puts pressure on Vancouver's interior defense. Montreal went to their side ball screen action again there, forcing Steven Zimmerman to commit to the ball a little bit before throwing it to Quincy Guerrier on the run, which makes it more difficult for Zimmerman to guard him straight up.
And right now, it's a heart and mouth moment for the Alliance. It has been disjointed to start off target, and Vancouver is starting to feel a verve in this game of vim and vigor. And they're 0-2 in that sequence, and a chance for Vancouver to retake the lead. And here's reason A, Shamar Gibbons. Taking the scenic route. Zimmerman from the center arc. Rebound, Guerrier.
Montreal a little fortunate that was missed. Vancouver got a wide open 3 there.
Chiquinho, can he be the difference for the Alliance? Boucard. Odro. Very minimal movement for the Alliance. Guerrier for 3. Bow and arrow on target. And the tonic Ricard up by 4, now needing 6 for the win.
So versus this Vancouver lineup, Quincy will not have the inside advantage like he had in the first half. He's got to look to face up a little more. That time he did. He's got the advantage, the speed advantage against Zimmerman out there.
Bullseye, Eddie. Timeout called by Montreal. And now it's a 79-78 lead for the Alliance over the Bandits. 85 is the target. 6 for Montreal, 7 for the Alliance. And they will have to talk about that and get things organized for Jermaine Small. No timeout, I beg your pardon. They'll carry on play here. And they'll have to get things organized in the geography of bodies on the court right now.
So I believe that's an automatic sub. When you get scored on and you have someone at the table, they consider it as an automatic sub when the game's under 2 minutes left to play, which is crunch time, right? So it was not a timeout.
Boucard. Can he be the crunch man? Guerrier from the 45. Overcooked that. And a chance for Vancouver to get the lead. Guerrier.
What hustle, what hustle. Good job not giving up on that.
Game full of nip and tuck Barthélemy, the putback, no good, above Boucard. And here comes Jarrell Eddy.
Seesaw battle here, seesaw battle, back and forth.
Samuel fouls and will go to the line. And for Tyrese Samuel, he is 3 of 6 from the free throw line. Vancouver, as I said before, is now 12 of 18.
At this stage of the game, you don't want to give any free layups here. Right, a little bit of miscommunication on the slip off the ball screen. Good dig there by Guillaume Payen-Boucard. Second effort by Tyrese Samuels. You got to put him on the line at that point.
The hometown kid grew up 10 minutes from Verdun in LaSalle, Quebec. And right now, that is a shot that he took from Cranbrook Greasy that missed.
See, that's where the first half comes into play, right? Like he's barely sat the second half, so he's starting to feel it in the lungs and the legs.
1 of 2, and we're back to parity at 79 apiece. First one to 85. 6 points required. You do the math on how to get those 6 points.
For Montreal, you need to get a good shot here.
Can they find the quality possession required? Gibbons against Chiquinho. The two big bulls going at it. Guerrier, watched by Zimmerman. 6 left in the shot clock. For the lead. Confirmed. Montreal up by 3, needing 4 for the win.
That is a big-time shot by a big-time player. Notice they haven't changed their offense. He's still setting side ball screens on the ball, but instead of rolling into traffic or where the other big boys are, he's popping now. And he's popping against Zimmerman, so he has an advantage, a speed advantage out there.
And a miss by Gibbons. He had a wide-open 3, and Montreal now can get this down to a 1-score victory. Here is Chiquinho back with it.
They need to keep getting good looks here.
Watched by Gibbons. Chiquinho.
Outside ball screen, popped by Quincy Guerrier.
6 left in the shot clock. He looks at the game clock. Eyeball to eyeball for 3. And that will find its way towards the first row and back to Vancouver. And a sigh of relief for the Vancouver Bandits.
I suspect a bit of lack of legs in that shot. A lot of arm.
Perhaps mental fatigue.
Some fatigue played a factor in that shot.
And that won't require mental fatigue. Eddie with the shot. We're back to 82 apiece. And Jermaine Small was not happy about the rotation on that.
Right, so everyone thinks it's a timeout. No, it's just a sub.
And now
it's a sub.
Now it's a timeout called by Montreal.
I will say this about Vancouver. They keep running their offense. They've set so many screens. Again, nothing new about that play. It was a simple stagger screen for a shooter. And this late in the game, maybe a defender gets caught sleeping. Shooter was wide open.
That's the voice of Mike Shemilewski. Kobino Dora Mo Khan resetting the game 82-82. First one to 85 wins. So now, Coach, we look at it from the target time of 85. We assume the map of the game plan for Montreal and Vancouver is a 3-point shot coming up.
Right. So this was a good rhythm 3 by Quincy Guerrier. This one, I think he held it a little too much indecisive, right? You want to be decisive in anything you do and live with it. Stagger screen by Vancouver, freed up the shooter, wide open shot. With regards to your question, Mo, if you're Vancouver, you don't want to give up a wide open catch and shoot 3, but you don't want to give up anything at the rim that's easy. So you still got to close off the paint. And I suspect Vancouver is still going to go back to that stagger screen when if they get the ball back, right? They're gonna put pressure on Montreal's defense with those staggers.
A fortnight ago, Montreal had Vancouver dead to rights, and Vancouver pulled off the smash and grab. And right now, this could be a smash and grab here for either side. It's Montreal on serve and a chance to win this game.
Everybody should stand here. This is the game.
I guess they heard your request. Here is Horton with it, watched by Eddie. Guerrier, Zimmerman on him. Guerrier will go for the 2.
This was a fantastically designed play. This puts pressure on Vancouver. Now if you're Montreal, absolutely no 3s. Absolutely no 3s. Stagger coming.
Gibbons.
They switched it. They need to switch it.
Eddie. Here's Samuel, watched by Horton. In orbit is Brown on the switch. Brown.
Push. They need to push.
And they will push again.
Try to catch him. Oh, that could have been a foul.
Kick out. Back out it comes to Barthélemy. Chiquinho for the win. For Montreal, they passed the first part of this two-game stretch as they win 87-82.
That's
now
why.
the biggest exam comes on Thursday in Brampton.
That's why Coach Smalls went with the two-guard lineup there. The offense could get clunky at times. One point guard took the rebound, passed it to the other. Basically, both smaller guards had the ball the entire possession. Wide open shot, live with the results. Fantastic finish.
And if this is the last home game for the Montreal Lions, what a way to send off the fans on a happy note. But their playoff conversation will extend by 2 more days in a showdown in Brampton on what could very well be winning your in. And for Vancouver, you guys sit and wait now because it might come down to Sunday when they face Winnipeg for perhaps the first seed in the West playoff race.
If you're Montreal, you couldn't not hope for better. You're in charge of your destiny now.
And here's the game-winning shot, courtesy of Chiquinho.
Right. So again, I thought that Montreal had to push a little more as long as Vancouver stayed with their big lineup. Again, it almost naturally hunted for Zimmerman on the offensive side. And again, game-winning shot was on his side of the defense.
Gurrier with 26, Chiquinho with 19, Williams III with 10. And 2 years ago, Montreal beat Vancouver. And fast forward to 2 years today, they beat Vancouver on this very day. So July 28th might be a special day for Montreal against Vancouver. For the Bandits, they got 25 from Gibbons, 16 from Samuel. They got 17 from Eddie, and they got 13 from Lloyd Pandy. And you have to wonder, what if Mitch Creek was to play in that game, and what would have happened if he was here? And they will need his services going towards the weekend if he is available. And don't forget, Montreal did not have Kevin Osawe, and still were able to come away with a win over a big hitter in Vancouver. Let's go down tomorrow with the Montreal Lions.
Quincy, you told me that when you lose in Montreal, you get frustrated. What does this moment feel like?
It feels great. It feels great. It feels great. It means a lot to me. Everybody played well. We stayed together. We communicated, and we got the dub.
The crowd today showed out and showed up. They were singing Ole after the game. What does that mean to you guys?
It means a lot. You got to talk to him. You got to talk to him a little bit.
Lando, when you hit that game-winning three and you heard the crowd, what was that moment like?
It felt great, man. Especially us, people coming from Montreal, bro. We just wanted to give the crowd. We want to show love one last time, man. We did it. We got the win.
This win meant a lot because there are playoff implications. What's next for the team?
Shit, we got one more in Brampton Thursday. So we just got to get locked in, get this dub, and we're coming back getting ready for the playoffs.
Good luck, guys. Good luck, guys. Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, man. We did that shit already. We good.
Thank you so much, Kubina. And I think we put the entire Montreal Lions team as the Booster Juice player of the game. I lost track who was the Booster Juice player of the game, but nonetheless, it is all of Montreal. Stay tuned. We'll wrap it up here from Montreal. They win 87-82 over the Vancouver Bandits. They now improve to 10-13. Welcome back here. A lot of hugs, a lot of tears of joy right now. I'm with Gabino Doro, Mike Chmielewski, and Mo Khan as we wrap up this game. Montreal winning 87-82. They improved to 10-13. Vancouver drops to 14-9. And we go to the final day on Thursday for Montreal. And for Vancouver, they'll have to wait anxiously until Sunday. Before we sign off, I want to thank everyone here at the Montreal Lions TV crew. Talk about the camera pair with Laurence Terrini, Yannick Castonguay, Rafael Denome, Sergi Tercanu, Alex Salve, Peter Pons, Kevin Albert, graphics, David Pelche, Eloi Fournier, replays, Kevin Duchesne, Danny Marchand, Etienne Cardinal, director, François Côté, J.S. Goyette, and Patrick Bouchard, producer, Emmanuel Villeneuve, Jasmine Lord, Anthony Charon, and tech manager, the man, the brain of the operations, Sebastian Charette, who has been wonderful. Even for the CEBL, I want to make sure we thank those people who are part of this whole process as well from the studio. Josh Duncan, he was phenomenal for us as well. Anna Sofia De La Parra, Josh Alderman as well. Mike Benz, graphics, Nick Riepmeister, Jack Gallipo, and also a big thank you to Matteo Palazzo, who took over for a few people at the CEBL, Aaron Gogishvili and Brandon Steen as well. Stain, I beg your pardon, and also, of course, Jamie Tan, who has been wonderful with us, taking us through the entire season as well. Mike, I'll start with you. Final words on this game and this season, and a chance for Montreal to wrap it up here.
That was an unbelievable game, a clash of styles, coaching adjustments. Teams went small, teams went big. Everything was on the line for both teams. It's not over yet. Both teams still have to win their next game before getting their desired standings placement. You couldn't ask for more as a fan or as an analyst.
And Kubina, we can look at the camera right there if you want to say your goodbyes here. This is your rookie year. You're no longer a rookie now, Kubina. You're a veteran. And I want to say something to you, Quabs. You came in. You brought a different energy. You brought a love for this game. You love the sport of basketball, and we saw it throughout your hard work of the Southern reporting, the fashion look, the whole nine. We thank you for what you did for this broadcast, because we have a lot of fans in the CEBL from coast to coast, my friend.
Thank you very much, Mo. It has been a pleasure working with you guys all season long. That was the way to end a game, right? Like, it was packed in here. The fans were into it. I got chills hearing them sing Ole Ole. I haven't heard that this season, and that was the way to go out. And then to end it off by talking to Quincy Guerrier, a Montreal player who told us before that he gets upset when they lose in Montreal. And I just want to thank the whole broadcast crew here in Montreal and everyone in the league for welcoming me and letting me do my thing here. And I hope to be back next year. And thank you, Mo, for making it all happen. I appreciate you, brother.
Well, thank you as well. And also a big thank you to Dwight Walton. You know, him and Mike, they have carried the load being the brains of this operation. Without you guys, make this broadcast exceptional. This is my 5th year, and I've been lucky to be part of this from day one to the present moment. And we've seen some lows, we've seen some highs, and this is a high for Montreal as they now bring it to the final game of the regular season. Game 24 can mean a lot for Brampton and for Montreal. The question is who will punch their passport towards the playoffs. And that will begin in August, and the road to the CEBL title. Could Montreal do so? If they do so, then all bets are off on who can win the CEBL, because this year, 9 of the 10 teams are still relevant going towards playoff basketball on the final week of the season. On behalf of the staff and crew, we wish you a great rest of the summer. Our next broadcast will be Niagara taking on Saskatoon. A big game for both teams, especially for Niagara, and that will happen Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. East, 7:30 p.m. Central as well. So on behalf of the staff and crew, we wish you a great rest of the summer. We'll see you next year for more CEBL action for 2K27 from Montreal. Montreal victorious as they win, and Blanco Chiqueño was the reason why they have kept their competition alive to maybe be in the playoff race going towards next week. Stay tuned. We'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.